So everybody, played a little cash last night. Thankfully, made a little bit back. From what I lost. Ran pretty good. I had one interesting hand I folded, and I want people's opinion on. Feel free to chime in. It got straddled. 10 on the button. There's multiple colors. A guy makes it. No, not 10. I straddled the 7 on the button. That's what it was. 7 on the button. 2, 3 colors. Next act, he ends up making it 23. Gets down to me on the button where I straddled. I had looked down at 7 of hearts, 8 of hearts. I, of course, make the call. I could 3-bet. Maybe I should 3-bet, honestly, but I called. And got 2 other callers. 2 or 3 other callers. I think it was 2 other callers. The flop is 10 of clubs, 7 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. So I flop bottom 2 pair. It gets checked to me, surprisingly. Pre-flop raiser doesn't bet. The original limp callers didn't bet. So I ended up betting about a third of the pot. I think it was like $25, $30, something like that. One of the original guys who's the main villain in the hand, who is the original caller and then just caller of the raise. So he was the limp caller. He ended up calling, and another guy calls. So, and I think the original pre-flop raiser had folded. Turn is a king of clubs. So again, flop 10 of clubs, 7 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. Turn is the king of clubs. So now there are 2 diamonds and 2 clubs out there. It gets checked to me again, and I'm going to bet here. And the pot is like about $240. And I feel like he should bet to get some value. There's tons of draws out there. So it'd be crazy not to bet here for value. I thought almost about checking back the way one of the guys checked. But I ended up betting for value. And it gets around to, again, the same villain who just limp called, just called the flop. And now the turn, he checks. I bet 200, and he jams for $600 more. And it gets it back to me. What would you do? It smells like, boy, he could have a ton of draws. Why would he check? Like, Jack 9 is the nuts, right? So why would he check Jack 9? But the thing is, in these low-stakes games, I've seen guys do this. I've seen guys, even though there's a shit ton of draws out there, if they think someone's going to bet, they just check call and they slow play it to check raise the turn. I ended up folding, and the main reason why is because a $200 bet into 220 or 230, that's a big bet, especially in this game. It's a 1-3 game. So that says I got something. So, and if I got some big monster draw, I'm not folding. But I could also have Jack 9. I could have the nuts. I could easily have the nuts. Just calling the bottom, just calling on the button, and then betting the turn, betting the river big, or betting the flop big, betting the turn big. So I could easily have Jack 9. He knows that. And he's not scared of Jack 9. I didn't put him on the hand like King 10. I thought about maybe King 10. But I thought, well, that's really overvaluing your hand. Of course, I've seen that as well in these games. People overvalue their hands. They think King 10 is the nuts here without even thinking about Jack 9. But I just thought, well, I have Jack 9 in my hand. I could have easily Jack 9. And is he really doing this with anything other than Jack 9? I mean, is he really doing this with the set? He doesn't have kings, because he just called and then just called again to raise. People don't play pocket kings like that. I don't think he has 10s, because he wouldn't play 10s like that. So, I mean, all these hands he couldn't have, and made me think that there's no way that he can have a lot of hands besides really Jack 9. But the problem is, I could have Jack 9. I easily can have Jack 9 here. I could have draws too. I guess some monster draws. Yes, I would continue betting. But of course, I'm calling for the monster draws. So I just ended up folding, and he never showed. I don't know. I don't know what you all think, but I think I made a good fold. Even though I hated to fold there, I think I did make a good fold. Just because I could have the nuts. And when you make a big bet and someone raises you on the turn, and I could have the nuts, and he still can't wait to get all his $800 in, I think that's just a fold, even though the way way he played the hand, I really scratched my head. But yeah, I think it was a good fold. Wonder what y'all think. That was the only big hand I had last night. I had another hand where, like we talk about guys kind of overvaluing their hands. Of course, I played this kind of tricky. I raised as the pre-flop raiser with ace 10 in early position. Flop comes ace 7. And I checked. The guy on the button ended up betting. The next act, he ended up raising all in for like $80. I figured he's on a draw. The guy on the button could have a draw. He could have an ace. I decided to be kind of tricky and just call, even though there's 2 diamonds out there. And the other guy calls. The turn was a 10, which gives me top boat. So now I'm not scared of anything. I decided to check, just maybe let him catch up. If he's got an ace, he's going to bet it. So I checked, and he jammed. He way overbet the pot for like $400. And guys do this. They don't want to see a bad card. Like, I trip eights. I'm protecting my hand, which is really wrong thinking, because when you do something like that, you're only getting called by better, and I had better. Would I have called if I didn't bubble up on the turn? I don't know. It would have been harder. I mean, he could have a stronger ace. And when someone goes crazy like that, you think, well, geez, he must have ace king, ace queen. I might not be good. And sometimes, you'll turn around and lay down a hand like ace 10. Come to find out he flips over ace 6 like it's the frickin' nuts. And you're like, oh my God. But people overvalue their hands, and that's something you have to keep in mind too. A lot of times when you're deciding whether or not to make a call, you have to think about, okay, could he be overvaluing something? I know he's not bluffing, but he might be overvaluing something that I can actually beat. So you have to put that in people's range too in these lower stakes games. I ran into that a couple times over my playing career. So anyway, yeah, he ended up having ace 6 and was so disgusted he flipped over his hand like, oh, what a cool or what a bad beat. And I don't know, to overjam there with ace 6 when you're only getting called by better, I think it's a horrible bet, in my opinion. Would I have bet in his position? Probably. But I wouldn't have overbet the pot and gone all in, because that's just dumb. So, anyway, that's what happened. I had a few big good hands that turned out pretty well. So, thankfully I made money last night, but I wonder what y'all think about that 7-8 hand. I think I made a good laydown. Be nice to hear what y'all think. That's it. See y'all.